Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamie, aka Rick here, bringing you weekly wrap up for the 1st of May 2013. This week we're going to be looking at another 4 games. This time it's Deadlight, Theme Hospital, Black Ops 2, and again World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft will most likely be the only game that features more than once, unless I'm playing a game for a prolonged period of time. There are some games that I done last week that I'm still playing this week, but I also started some new ones, so I thought I'd bring you those instead. There will be some screenshots from Mass Effect 2 right at the end, just to show you some highlights of the playthrough that I had. One thing in particular, but I won't spoil it right now. I'll let you wait and see. Anyway, let's get straight into it with Deadlight. It is a cinematic survival platformer. It's basically zombies have taken over, you know, the old zombie apocalypse kind of thing, and it's as you could say 2.5D like effect, because it is on the 2.5 like 2D. You can't move like forward and like into the background, I suppose you could say, but you can only move left and right. But there is stuff going on in the background that gives it almost a 3D effect, like there's zombies coming from the background, or there's explosions happening, and just, you know, just random stuff to give it a deeper effect, and it's pretty cool. Sometimes you're running through buildings and you look down a corridor and there's like a zombie staggering up the corridor or something like that, as an example, and if you wait around they do eventually come into the foreground and they can affect your gameplay. It's pretty good. You're almost helpless, I'd say, against the zombies. You get a gun at some points, but you don't have unlimited ammo for it, and you also have like a fireman's axe, but again, that's not great. So your best option most of the time is to try and avoid them, and you can do that. You just got to think a little bit on how to avoid them properly and not get hit, not get caught. So it's really good. And again, this is a game that goes on Steam sale regularly. I would check in the summer sale to see if this is on, because it is a very good game. Next, we're going to go on to Theme Hospital, which some of you may know is a really old game. I think it's released in like the 90s, something like that. I'd say like mid 90s as a guess. But there's been a HD patch released for it by someone on the internet. Basically, it's really easy to install. I'll put the link in the description to where you download it, and there's actually instructions on how to install it there. So it's very simple, possibly one of the easiest games I've ever patched. But yeah, it runs at really high resolutions. Obviously the graphics don't change that much, because obviously it's an old game. They haven't reworked the whole thing, it's just made it functional at high resolutions and stable as well. It easily runs like a solid 60 FPS when I'm frapped in, which is better than some games that come out today. So it's very, very good patch, and Theme Hospital is a great game, like a game that I've played hours and hours in the past. The fact that now it can run stably at high resolutions and on newer systems is just fantastic. So I'd recommend, if you haven't got it, go on Gamersgate. Is it Gamersgate? No, it's Good Old Games, GOG. It's like probably about $5, if that. I'll put a link to that in the description as well, in case you haven't got it for some strange reason. But yeah, you should definitely go and pick that up. Next, we're going to talk about Black Ops 2, which is a game I've recently picked up, and I've got to blame my mate on YouTube, Doyzels, for this, because he started posting Black Ops 2 gameplay, and then I bought it, basically. It's something I've thought about buying for ages, but I've told myself I'm not going to do it, because I've been like a massive COD fanboy in the past. Like, I think COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 I've put over 30 days into on the Xbox, and then Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 3 is like 15 to 20 days, I'd imagine. So in the past I've played a lot of Call of Duty, and it's something that I really enjoy. It's just mindless FPS fun. It's not as competitive as, say, like Counter-Strike or even Team Fortress. Is a bit more crazy. This is a little bit more relaxed, and you can kind of just chill, listen to music, and gun down copious amounts of enemies, which is pretty cool. That's the main reason I buy it. So good first impressions so far with Black Ops 2, I have to say. It seems like really good. The gunplay is pretty much the same as it's always been in Call of Duty games. The maps seem quite good as well, which is something that I couldn't really say about Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops, not quite as much, but still a little bit. They weren't that great. Whereas the maps in Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2 were, I think, fantastic. Like, some of the Modern Warfare 2 ones are my favourite maps of all time, but unfortunately they haven't been as good lately. But these ones seem okay. They seem pretty damn good. So I haven't played that much of it yet. I've only played like, I think, about 6-7 hours, so I don't know, like maybe some things haven't come up yet, like balance problems or overpowered guns or terrible maps. I may not have played them yet, so that may change my impression, but first impressions are really good, and is very fun to play. So that's always good. That's what you should look for in a game. It's fun to play. Anyway, on to the final game this week. It's going to be World of Warcraft again, and I finally got into LFR. I bought a few pieces of like the PvP blue gear that's like littering the AH. One of them is like got intellect on it, but that was literally just to get me into LFR because I was getting bored of doing heroics and not getting any drops whatsoever. So I ended up buying some crappy PvP gear, and the first part of LFR, like the first 3 bosses, I got 2 drop. It was I do believe a belt and a ring, so from the first 2 bosses, and then the next 4 I got absolutely nothing, just like the 29 gold or whatever. I need quite a few more drops until I'm into Heart of Fear LFR. It's like I'm 463 item level, and I need 470 to get into Heart of Fear, so I've got a little way to go yet, unfortunately. But hopefully by next week I will be almost in Heart of the Fear, if not actually in there, and earn some gear from it, because that'd be pretty sweet. So I'm talking to my mate at the moment. He's maybe making me some 496 gear, is it, I think, some epic, because the mats are obviously really cheap now, and he's disenchanted all his old raid gear and actually got some of the mats, so it's fairly easy for him to make them. I've just got to pay him a little bit depending on how much the blood spirits are on the AH, so hopefully I can get that sorted out and I can get into Heart of Fear and start gearing up even quicker, because that would be pretty damn awesome. So yeah, as promised, this is the Mass Effect 2 screenshots. It's just Renegade Shepherd, like right at the end of the game, when you've done most of the Renegade options throughout the game, like the scarring on your face. It's just, I think it looks awesome, and like the picture when it's in the dark, just, it looks so cool. I've started the 3rd one now. Hopefully that will be finished, like that will show next week in the weekly wrap up. I'd imagine hopefully I'll get some good footage of that. I've heard the scars do come back in Mass Effect 3 if you go the Renegade options again, so hopefully she'll look even more awesome at the end of the 3rd one, because obviously the graphic updates and everything. Okay, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and remember, if you did enjoy the video or you found it helpful, to drop a like, and if you'd like to see more content like this or other gaming content, then hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when I do upload future videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.